Hey, what's up? I'm going to show you how to fix your Miele washing machine, W1, or any other Miele washing machines that have a motor drive problem. So you get an F53 error or F50. Now yours might be different to this one, but the principles are the same because the design for the motor controllers and the main boards are mostly the same. The first thing you want to do, F50 or F53, is relating to the motor not being able to read the speed or operate the motor. So it's either F50 or F53, depending on your model. First thing you want to do is open the door, then turn the drum by hand. If it's turning freely, that's good. Then you also want to make sure that you unplug the appliance before you move any further, so we can troubleshoot and see what is happening with the motor. Now, some of these are brushed. So if yours is brushed, the carbon brushes on them will be worn, and then you just simply need to replace those and then reset, it'll reset. But for most of these newer ones, they have a digital inverter, a brushless motor. So that's why it'll give that fault. To access, you need to access the main board, which has the converter in it, the inverter controller in it. You need to access it from the back. So you unplug it, then you need a T20. You're gonna take the hoses out of the way, just move them out of the way. There'll be 6 screws, so more than 6. The panel we need to remove is this one, so we can access the board which sits in that corner there. It just comes off by lifting it up, and there's a hook at the top here, just like that, comes off. If you have a look in the corner there, that's your board. Now I'd opened mine a bit before, so that's why you can see it a bit exposed like that. So this is it here. There'll be a screw here holding this all in place. And the trick here to get all this off is to remove the drain pipe. Just make sure there'll be a bit of water that's going to come out. And you might want to grab a flat screwdriver to help you pry this off. This comes off like that. That'll be attached to this cover. The cover just comes off, and then you can set this to the side. Now for those that will have trouble repairing this and you find yourself not able to fix the fault, you can get a replacement board. And then to get the replacement board, you need to quote the model number, which is at the back of the case of the cover that we just removed. But the board number is over there. It starts with ELP 170. So that's the board number that we're going to replace. In this case, we're going to fix that board and see what's happening with the transistors in there. Your main motor is this one. This is your drive. That's your motor. It's brushless. Those are the connections to it. Just want to check, make sure the wiring's still intact and good. and then proceed to remove this. To remove this, you simply push it back and it just pops out like that. And then it's a matter of just taking photos of where all these go, all these cables. Take photos of those and start disconnecting all this. These are handy enough because they just pops off as one unit, and you can just put it back as one unit as well. So you can do that. It's nice and handy like that, and then proceed with the rest of the repair. This one is out of a Miele W1 washer, and this is the ELP 170. So the board number will be over here on this end. So yours might look different to this, as I said before, but the principle is the same. Troubleshooting is the same. So if yours is giving an F53 error, if it's the one with the brushed motors, check the brushes first. I've got a separate video for that. But most of these new ones, they have inverter motors, so brushless motors. This is the board that controls. This is the main board and the inverter controller as well. So over here, this is your power supply and noise filter for the washer. And then over here, this is all that controls your motor. So over here, this is the main chip that controls everything here. And then this chip here controls these transistors. So these transistors, there's 6 of them. On yours, there might be 2 or 3 or 1, depending on what you have. But you'll always get these transistors, and these are IGBTs. They are very sensitive to static electricity and also heat. So you have to be very careful when you're handling them or when you're soldering them off and on. And usually they break by short circuiting or blowing up. So you want to make sure that you check them first, because if they malfunction, they will cause that F53 error or F50 error or any drive errors. So over here, these are in pairs. So 1 and 2, these two are together, these two are together, these two are together. And this is where the motor connection is. Yours might have a bigger one, but this is all connected to that. So these, what we're going to do first is we're going to put our multimeter on the diode test, and it will be testing voltage as well. And you want to put the negative terminal on one side here, where it's got that soldered base, and then test one leg, and you're getting about 0.488 volts for that one. Then you move on to the next one. So for 0.488, that's good. Move on to the next one. Oops. 0.488, yep. Good. That one's good as well. So I've just checked that, and that shows that they're good. As you check yours, you might get a reading. So I've been checking all these ones, and then you might come on to another one, and then you'll get some like 0.05 or something like that, 0.00. You get a lower voltage, a significantly lower voltage. That indicates a problem with that particular one. So you need to change it. You can get it off the internet. You have to look it up. There's numbers on here which you can look up and find. I usually just get those off like another washer and put it on here. The other thing you want to check while you're here, so the way these work is there's this chip that controls these. So if one of these, they shouldn't be on together at the same time. So if one of these is short-circuited and is always on all the time, it sends a fault. This detects that, and then it sends a fault to the chip, and then that gives up the error code. So if you ever get that error code, it means that it's protected the circuit. It's telling you that one of these is not working. So you're going to try to find out which one's not working. You also have these diodes over here, this power bridge rectifier. So you want to also check these diodes. I'm going to check them to make sure that they still work. And yep, that's good in both ways. Good, there's nothing coming through there, good. You just want to be thorough if you don't find any blown transistors on here. So that one's all right. It's good. Yeah, that's good. So diodes are supposed to pass electricity only one way and not the other. So you want to check. I'm going to go all through all these diodes